Spider-Man.
swing on over,
Oh!
perhaps, to the
That's
movies.
good.
Webhead.
The first of the many, many modern Spider-Man movies.
Yep.
Came out in 2002. Directed by Sam Raimi. Generally considered to be a good movie, I think.
I loved it.
It was a great movie, especially for the time. Of course, now we have a lot of like we consider better movies and stuff, but at the
Spider-Man
time,
2.
we really didn't get a lot of movies like that. And it was very smart to take a director who kind of had this horror bent, who had a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Kind of like...
Seems like an odd choice at
Yeah,
the
kind of like
time.
Tim Burton, who
Yeah.
when he did the '89 Batman, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but it worked out really well, and so did this. The cast was great, like Tobey Maguire. A lot of people like maybe seem very divisive about him.
I was hit or miss on
I
him, but he
thought
pulled it off, I
I
thought.
thought it was great. Yeah, he's
I thought
such
Tobey Maguire was great.
the emotion into it.
Yeah.
The Uncle Ben scene like breaks my
Oh,
heart.
man.
At the time when we weren't tired of seeing that on screen so
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah.
Really cool.
To be honest, we've only seen it twice.
Yeah, true.
Like, it's not so many times, it's
but
twice.
We're tired of it already. Twice is enough.
They got
on
it
the
right
big
the
screen.
first time.
Right.
That's
sure.
the issue.
And really, it was the first like primary colored, like unashamed to be primary colored superhero. Because before that, you had X-Men, all black leather. You know, the
Yeah.
comics, it's like yellow and blue and green.
Well,
and
they make a
stuff.
joke about it in the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do you want? Yellow spandex.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, kind of.
Like,
Yeah.
So now,
that's what you're supposed to wear.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man really sort of opened the door for movies like Avengers, and stuff like that to have these colorful costumes
Yeah.
and for that to work.
And to be like, you can look like the comics. It's
Yeah.
fine. And you could
Yeah.
still be like believable and taken seriously.
That first Spider-Man costume looked so good. It was a little shiny in places, but it
Yeah.
looked really good. It's very true to the comics. Of course, they didn't do the web shooters, but in the long run, that didn't really impact anything.
No.
It's,
I was
okay
it
with
sort of dialed down how much of a scientific genius Peter Parker was, but still, they played up elements of his life. Aunt May, she was great. Every scene she had, they played her like just the right amount. Especially in the sequel, she was there to sort of like
she was
pick
really
him
good in
up
the
when he
sequel.
needed it
Yeah.
at the end. I think Spider-Man 2 is probably the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
Hands down.
Yeah, it's pretty unanimous.
just-
Oh
Dr.
my God, Dr.
Octopus.
Octopus is phenomenal.
I'm
The
just so
train
mad
fight
they killed
scene.
off Alfred Molina.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, how could they do that?
I mean, he could have I always had this theory in my head that they
could come back.
They cut away and that his generator lets off a pulse of energy that reactivate his tentacles that drag him out right under the bay and
Just
give him
more
CPR
crazier.
and he's like, ugh, okay.
I'm
it's
gonna
gonna be
say
and
to
he
you.
loses his memory that he just made up with Spider-Man and he's like, I'm gonna get Peter Parker. And,
Or
you know.
what if the tentacles
you
just
what they
became
said.
sentient?
And
And like it was just
God.
and, like a dead body.
dragging him around.
that would be Sam Raimi. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I love
And
that.
it was the horror of when he first he was unconscious on the table, remember the hospital scene? And they came alive.
They dragged the nurse and her
Yes.
nails.
Oh,
were
yeah,
stuck
it's
on-
terrifying.
Oh yeah,
Classic Sam Raimi.
Someone tried to cut it off with a,
But I mean,
a
even-
chainsaw, which is a little Evil Dead nod,
Yeah.
and he picked up and threw him across the
Yeah, but
room.
it was similar even in the first one, even with Willem Dafoe going completely insane and turning
Yeah.
into the Green Goblin.
The actors, and this Willem Dafoe is the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, it's
amazing.
phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
a great choice. It's just such a shame that they put the stupid
He did look like
plastic
an evil
hockey mask
Power
on.
Ranger, but he still had the Goblin Glider. He had the pumpkin bombs.
Yeah.
It was great. And they had like the hero's choice at the end, which is kind of something they really changed from the comic books, but of just Mary Jane or the kids. And of course, he saves both because he's Spider-Man. But
I would choose Mary Jane.
so good.
Yeah.
I would choose the kids because they already, by then had they already shared that real cool upside down smooch? Remember that
Yes,
scene?
Yeah.
that was iconic.
In the rain.
Yeah.
Don't forget in the rain.
Sure, that's how I try to kiss girls like that for the first time.
Upside down in the rain.
Upside
every
down in
time.
the rain.
Hold on.
No.
Yeah.
You like
If you're on a date,
Hold on.
if you're on a date and it's not raining and you can't get upside down, you're immediately just like, nope, not happening.
Doesn't
Sorry.
work.
Spider-Man was the #1 movie of the year in North America.
As
It
well it should have been.
remains the #1 Spider-Man movie and the #1 superhero origin story at the domestic
All
box
of those
Nice.
should be correct.
office. Yeah.